Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from the Superdome. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Ready, 95-56, 95-56. We got this.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And Thomas has it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big pickup of 38. Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Shotgun now for Breeze. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
On play action. Now Breeze. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Call that a very strong gain of 24. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That'll be complete to Cook. And he gets in. But no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. So they get in for the opening drive score, and they go for 2. They kept the kicker lonesome over there. They said, we don't need you this time.
Kickers? Who needs kickers for PATs?
Nice now.
We want them for field goals, not for PATs. They went for 2 and got it. That's a new tone setter for this team.
Ravens offense coming onto the field. There's quarterback Lamar Jackson. And don't want to hand out awards until the season's officially over. But
MVP.
Yeah, I think the engraver's workbench is prepped and ready to go to put his name on there. NFL record for rushing yards in a season by a quarterback, passing Michael Vick in Week 15 against the Jets. If you're looking to the playoffs, what do teams need to do to slow down Lamar Jackson?
Well, what they're going to try to do is take away all of the...
Willie Snead all alone. A big play that time for the Ravens. 64 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Nice pickup. 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still second down.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on second and goal. This time Jackson will throw it. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more...
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line, lower than the defensive front.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. CD, let's take a step back and look ahead to the Saints in the playoffs here as they get ready for this next drive. Another double-digit win season for them. What do you think of their prospects come playoff time?
I think they're excellent because Drew Brees is back in form. I got to see him late in the season at home against San Francisco, and he's magnificent in that game. Brought them back from down late in the game, gave them a chance to win, put them ahead with less than a minute on the clock. So it wasn't his fault they didn't win that game. He looks like the Drew Brees we expect. But the big reason is their defense. Their defense is as good as there is in the league, rushing the passer, defending against the run, covering everything downfield. Bottom line, though, they are built to win at home in the playoffs. Since Sean Payton's been the head coach, they're 7-4 at home in the playoffs. A lot of people would say, well, it should be 8-3 because of what happened against the Rams last year, but still 7-4. But on the road, just 1-7, and that's excluding the Super Bowl, which was a neutral site game.
And don't forget, good job by Teddy Bridgewater bridging the gap when Brees was out. 5-0. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 38-yard line.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Easy.
On the ground, Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up.
In this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. There's Breeze. And that is going to be incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Throwing now is Breeze. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball in the coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Here we go. 54. Line 54. It's our time. Go.
To throw is Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film when it was to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. There he goes left side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for two, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's third down. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. From 13 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
That one goes for 30 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Here's Breeze to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Ready? 95-56. Let's go.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Down right around the 25. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Breeze. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints get a bit closer.
Obviously, Brandon, they couldn't get it all back with just 1 score, but that touchdown chips into the lead, and now it makes the comeback a little bit more manageable.
And Alway takes off with it. It's a fake. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line. Yeah, he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Ready. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Steps away to his left. Sidesteps him at the 35. And now running right through it. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Jackson now. Going to throw again. Being chased out. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Man, that's trash.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And Alway takes off with it. It's a fake. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. And all the way down to the 39. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 44 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get them about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They get this to Smith on the jet sweep, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Watch the run. It's soft, baby. That's baby soft.
They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. Taking it right down Broadway. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 27 yards. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Will Lutz on for the point after. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated in October, November, and rolled that into December. They've answered every big question thus far. The wins over Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, the Niners and Bills as well. Are they the favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Miami on February 2nd?
I believe they are because they are a complete team. As much as Lamar Jackson powers everything on offense, he has Marquise Hollywood Brown out wide. He can throw the ball deep too. Dependable tight ends led by Mark Andrews. Really good offensive line. Mark Ingram can run it. The defense comes at you from every imaginable angle. And if you're trying to prepare on offense for them, it is hard to do, and your quarterback gets hit a lot. And they have the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker. That's a big formula for success when come playoff time.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. The 20, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is down to 4. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 54 yards. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
Right there, 54 Mike. Blue down.
They'll run here with Ingram. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. Out in front. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
He's going to fire one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Breeze looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you were going to tell your wife about the hot dogs. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for him. Fighting. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Does the big boy have the juice? And he'll advance no further, so he can't bring it back for 2, but the extra point attempt is unsuccessful.
It's funny to me because we actually keep a football in the booth with us during games, and I notice you cradling the football. You got it tucked pretty tight with the points of pressure here, and that didn't occur on that play, did it?
No, you saying I wouldn't have fumbled if I was down there?
You would not have fumbled. You got that thing locked in tight.
I also have really large biceps. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson 67 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. This is becoming, oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Ready. 5-8, 5-8. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 45 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. But yes, Michael Thomas is a volume receiver, but he can also make some really big plays, especially with Drew Brees throwing the football.
I love the way you described it. Volume receiver who could also make big plays. In other words, if you underestimate him, he'll run past you or he'll just jump over the top of you and continue to make those big plays.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
What's good on the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back and forth. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They toss to Ingram. And now running right through him. Room to run inside the 40. Past the 20. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 6-yard line. So they had him bottled up, able to make a man miss.
To get him off of him, and then once he did that, now he put his agility to use and took.
And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as the Ravens push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And he's brought down after a very nice game. That's good for 28 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brandon Carr. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for second down. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard. Let's get it.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson forced out to his left. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. The Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And now look at him go. The 40, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. He goes 105 yards on the kick return as the Ravens push further out in front.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
And how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler. Marcus Peters. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number 1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that? And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for the Ravens. 59 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally. And he
will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got him in position.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Brees. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And my goodness, another interception. Off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy.
It's caught at the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Willie Snead, his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one. And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've got to dig down deep. They need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled. Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys. I'm kind of glad. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down the 26.
Let's go, boys.
It's a big play there for the Saints. 42 yards. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
On the ground, this is Kamara. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 24, Breeze throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Breeze. And he finds Cook. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jared Cook with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. So he's hit Pater twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him to football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't it? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Jackson on first down. Dancing to his left. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson towards the end zone for Brown. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. To throw is Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Breeze.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Breeze going to throw. And brought in by the tight end Cook. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit and not go down and fumble the ball.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, 82 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, you want to talk about making something out of nothing. Boy, he did that right there. What an incredible run.
Obviously a pass play, and he couldn't find anyone open downfield.
S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.